You never let me do anything.
Louise, you're too young to be going out to a club.
My dad said. All my friends are going. Why can't I?
Because I said so, that's why.
You're ruining my life. I ran out of the room, slamming the door behind me. It's not fair. I'm never allowed to go anywhere. I ran up to my room and laid down on my bed. I was so angry with my dad. But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any more crazy stories. When school finished the next day, I asked my best friend Paula if I could go to her house for a while. I had a big fight with my dad last night, and I just want to stay out of his way for a while. Sure, Louise, no problem. Actually, it's a good time for you to come. My mom is home. Really? Oh, that's great. I can't believe we've been friends for so long and I've never met your mom. Paula's mom was a businesswoman. She was very successful and spent a lot of time overseas. We never seemed to be in the same place at the same time. Even if I went to their house when she was in town, she would always be out running an errand or at a restaurant or something. Paula and I chatted as we walked to her house. We were never stuck for words when we were together. I could tell her anything. My parents are so strict. I can't wait until I'm 18 and then I can do whatever I want. They're only doing what they think is best for you. I know that, but I just wish they would loosen up a bit. Come on, we're here. Let me introduce you to my mom. We went inside Paula's house and through to the kitchen. Her mom was standing in front of the cooker stirring a pot of stew. Mom, this is Louise. Paula's mom stopped stirring and turned around. Hello, Louise. So we finally meet. Yes, it's really nice to meet you. Stay here with Mom for a minute. I'm gonna go put my school bag away. Paula went out of the kitchen and left me alone with her mom. That stew smells delicious. You're not going to be staying very long, are you? There isn't enough stew for you to have dinner too. Oh, no, of course not. I felt a bit hurt at the way Paula's mom had spoken to me. She had spoken really nastily. If I didn't know any different, I would have thought she hated me. Luckily, Paula came walking back in. Come on, Louise, let's go up to my room. I followed Louise upstairs. When we went into her room, I told her what her mom said to me. I don't think she likes me. Oh, I'm sure she didn't mean anything by it. Maybe you misheard what she said. I knew that I hadn't been mistaken, but I decided to forget about it. I wanted to enjoy the afternoon with Paula. When I got home that evening, I went and spoke to my dad. I'm sorry about what I said to you. I know you love me.
I'm sorry too.
I could never stay angry with my parents for very long. At the end of the day, I loved them. Listen, Dad, I know you don't want me to go to a club, but Paula is having a sleepover at her house this weekend. Please, can I go? At first, my dad seemed a bit reluctant, but after some more pleading from me, he finally agreed.
Okay, you can go for the sleepover, but make sure you don't stay up all night.
The next day at school, I couldn't wait to find Paula and tell her. Dad says I can have a sleepover. Yes, that's brilliant. Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun. Friday evening, me and two other girls, Kim and Tracy from our class, went over to Paula's house. Her mom had put mattresses on the floor of her room so we could all sleep together. The four of us took turns playing video games and trying out different hairstyles. After an hour of doing that, we decided to watch a movie. Mom, we're putting the movie on now, shouted Paula. Okay, I'll bring you up some pizza. We settled down in front of the TV. 10 minutes later, Paula's mom came into the room with 3 pizza boxes. She handed one to Paula and one each to Kim and Tracy. Sorry, Louise, we only have 3. Paula saw the look of disappointment on my face. It's fine, Mom. I'm not that hungry anyway. Louise can share mine. I felt really uncomfortable after that. I had no idea what I had done, but for some reason, Paula's mom did not like me. Come on, Louise, cheer up, said Paula. I didn't want to spoil the evening, so I put a smile on my face and settled down to watch the movie. Before long, I had forgotten all about Paula's mom, and I enjoyed the rest of the night. It was a couple of weeks after that when I got a text message from Paula. I've got some exciting news. We are going away for a week camping, and I'm allowed to invite a friend. I want you to come with us. I ran downstairs and asked my mom, can I go camping with Paula and her family? I don't see why not, as long as you behave yourself. I will, I promise. I quickly sent a reply to Paula, telling her that I was allowed to go with them. I was so excited. Paula and I spent the last 2 weeks of term talking about all the things we would do when we were camping. There's a river we can canoe in and fish. We can go for a walk along the cliff top. We can rent a bicycle and swim in the ocean. It all sounded so thrilling. I had never been camping before. The morning we were leaving, I woke up about an hour before the alarm was due to go off. My stomach had butterflies and I could hardly eat my breakfast. Mom dropped me off at Paula's house and I knocked on the door. Paula opened it, a huge smile on her face. "Come in, we're almost ready to leave." Paula's dad packed all the camping equipment and our bags into their car and we set off for the campsite. It seemed like ages to get there, but eventually we pulled into the site.
You girls wait here while we go find our pitch number,
Said Paula's dad. It didn't take long before he was back and we were setting up the tent. Paula and I were sharing one tent and her mom and dad the other. We pumped up the mattresses and laid out sleeping bags on top of them,
Why don't you three go for a walk while I finish off setting up the rest of the things?
said Paula's dad. Good idea, said her mom. We will take the path along the cliff top. The three of us set off walking. The wind was blowing through my hair and I felt so giddy. It only took about 5 minutes to reach the start of the path along the edge of the cliff. Oh, no, said Paula's mom. I've forgotten my phone. Paula, do me a favor, will you? Run back to the tent and get it for me. Sure, Mom. Paula ran off, leaving me with her mom. I stood at the edge of the cliff, looking out across the ocean. Suddenly, the hairs on my arms stood up on end. I turned around and saw Paula's mom walking towards me. She had a weird look on her face. She's not going to push me over the cliff edge, is she? She took another step closer and lifted her arm. Mom, I've got your phone. Paula came running up and handed her mom the phone. Her mom spun around quickly. Oh, thank you, darling. We were just enjoying the view, weren't we, Louise? I looked at her and nodded. My heart was beating so fast that I thought it would burst out of my chest. The rest of the week went by uneventfully. By the time it was time to go home, I had forgotten all about the first day. When I got back home, I told my parents all about our week away. We had so much fun. We cooked on a stove and went fishing and swimming,
It sounds like you had a great time.
said Dad.
You know, we really should say a big thank you to Paula's parents. Let's invite them to go out for dinner.
What a good idea, said Mom. I will send them a message. My mom arranged with Paula's parents for us to all have dinner the following weekend. We met up at an Italian restaurant in town. When we arrived, Dad asked the waitress if Paula and her family were already there, but she told him that we were the first to arrive. She showed us to our table and we sat down and waited for them. They're here! I waved to Paula and she came over to our table,
Hello, Paula.
said Dad. Hi, this is my mom. But before Paula could say any more, my dad interrupted her.
What are you doing here?
He asked, looking at Paula's mom. Do you know each other, Dad? I asked. You could say that, said Paula's mom. I looked at her confused. Your dad is my ex-boyfriend. He cheated on me with your mom. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My mom looked at Dad in horror. Is it true? Did you cheat on her? With me?
No, I didn't. Well, not technically.
Dad told us that it was true that he had been dating Paula's mom, but he said that they weren't official or anything.
We weren't getting along. I hardly saw anything of her. I met you and knew that you were the one for me, so I finished it with her.
I looked at Paula's mom. Is that why you've been treating me so badly? I suppose so. You were a reminder of everything I had lost. Mom, how could you do that? Asked Paula. Paula's mom didn't answer her. Instead, she grabbed hold of Paula's hand and dragged her out of the restaurant. I turned to see what Mom would say next. I believe you, darling. That woman seems pretty crazy to me. My dad laughed.
Yes, I'm very lucky that I met you.
I breathed a sigh of relief. I had been worried for a few seconds that Mom and Dad would have a fight, but they were back to their usual selves. The morning after the dinner disaster, I woke up really early. Something didn't feel quite right. I blinked my eyes and looked around me, but instead of seeing the familiar furniture in my bedroom, all I saw was the gray walls of a cave. I sat bolt upright. I had no idea where I was or how I had got there. I noticed that there was a glass panel built into the side of one of the walls. I walked towards it. Just as I was getting near it, Paula's mom suddenly appeared on the other side of the glass. What are you doing to me? I screamed. How did I get here? She told me that she had set up a game. It was a series of challenges. If you complete all the challenges, you will be set free. But if you fail them, you will be destroyed. You only have 24 hours to do it. You're crazy. You can't force me to do this. Oh, I think you'll find that I can. Then she disappeared. I looked around me, wondering if there was any way I could escape. But there was no way out. I saw there was a table with a piece of paper on it. I picked it up and read the first line. Your first challenge is to walk through the hot lava With that, the wall on the left of me slid open and I saw a path of burning lava. Stones were dotted in between. I stepped on the first one and carefully made my way to the next one. At one point, my foot slipped and I nearly went straight into the hot lava. Luckily, I caught myself just in time and managed to get to the other side. The next task I had to do was a math equation. I had never been very good at math, and it took me a very long time, but eventually I solved the problem and a door opened to the next room. I went through a couple more tasks, but they took me a long time to do. I was just about to do the final task when Paula's mom's face appeared behind the glass again. Sorry, Louise. Your time is up. You've taken too long to complete the tasks. Please don't hurt me. Please let me out. Suddenly, her telephone rang. She answered the call. I could hear that it was Paula on the other end. Help me, Paula! Your mom has me trapped in here. She's going to kill me! I screamed. Mom? Is that Louise? Is she with you? You stay out of this, Paula, and let me deal with her. Please, Mom? Don't hurt her. She's my best friend. It's not her fault that her dad cheated on you. Paula's mom seemed torn. Should she ruin the life of her ex-daughter or grant the wish of her own daughter? I guess she went with the later, because eventually she agreed to let me go. When she opened the door to the cave, I didn't wait around for a second. I pushed past her and ran as fast as I could. I didn't stop running until I got all the way home. I told my parents what Paula's mom had done to me.
She can't get away with that. I'm calling the police,
said Dad. The police spoke to Paula's mom and she admitted everything. They arrested her and she is now in jail. Paula and I are still best friends. She is sad that her mom is in jail, but she knows that what her mom did was wrong.